Hi, I'm Russell from Hardy High Campers, and in this video I'm going to show you how to operate all the controls in your chosen motorhome, Gladys. Gladys runs on standard diesel fuel. When it's time to fill up, you just open the passenger door, you pull open the fuel flap, feed the nozzle in. When you're full, you close it back over again. It also runs on AdBlue. If there's a warning light that appears on the dashboard, you will need to replenish the AdBlue. It can be bought at any service station. If you keep the receipt for the AdBlue, we will reimburse you on your return. Make sure the caps are fully closed over before closing the door back. So there are various lockers around the motorhome. This particular one houses the leisure battery, so you don't need to bother with that. Around to the back of the motorhome, you'll find it's the main garage door. Now the garage door opens by pushing these two buttons in, like so, pulling gently, and there's a stay here which comes around and slots into place like so, just like a standard bonnet. Within the garage area itself, you'll see there are various items. First of all, there is the ladder for the rear bed, the levelling ramps if you needed to level the motorhome up on a campsite, a standard camping step for getting in and out of the motorhome, and also you'll find there's some silver screens there as well, and your hose pipe and hookup lead. At the rear of the motorhome, you'll find the locker door for the chemical toilet. Now when it's time to replace your chemical toilet, you'll open the door like so. There's a blue lever down the bottom here that you lift up and pull like so. Something to note, if this won't come out for any reason, it's because the trap door for the toilet inside has been left open for some reason. All you would need to do is go back inside the motorhome, close the lever back over again, come back to the rear of the motorhome, lift up and slide the cassette toilet out. There's a very simple way to empty the cassette toilet. All you do is you twist this nozzle over, take the cap off, and on the chemical disposal unit on a campsite, you would pour the waste down the disposal unit. At that point, you would then open this like so. You would probably half full of water, close it back over again, give it a shake and a rinse, pour it out back into the disposal unit. And the third time, what you would do is you would pour some blue chemical, which we supply and I'll show you later, and probably about half a pint of water, close it back over again, give it a good shake, and then you slide it back in to the compartment like so. Make sure it clicks, close the door, and you're good to go again. Something to note on Gladys is the habitation door is actually on the driver's side, not the passenger side. To lock yourself in of an evening, you would use the key button here, like so. It will lock the motorhome, but it only locks the driver and the passenger door. The habitation door needs to be locked individually, and you use this key here. Something to note that if for any reason someone pushes the lock button down and closes the door stays locked. So it's just something to be mindful of, that if the keys are left in the motorhome with the cab doors locked, just make sure that no one's pushing that door down, otherwise the keys could get locked inside. So when you arrive at your campsite and you're hooking your motorhome up for the first time, lift this flap up, you get the power lead out of the garage area around the other side, and you just simply push the cable straight on to this plug here. It's probably best at this point to wrap the cord around the driver's mirror, just so you notice it and you don't drive away while you're still connected. When you do go to remove the plug, all you do is you push this lever down and you pull the hookup lead off, and make sure that that is pushed back before you drive off. This flap is where you put your clean water into the motorhome. It's a standard cap with a lock. Once you've unlocked and twisted the cap off, you feed the supplied hose pipe in, turn the tap on. You'll know when it's full because it will gush back out here, and there's an overflow underneath the motorhome as well. All you do is you lock it back up again and you're good to go. So when it's time to empty your grey water on the campsite, What you need to do is you need to come round to the driver's side of the motorhome. You'll see this lever here, and what you would do is you would pull the lever towards you. It will dump the grey wastewater, making sure that you are using the right area to do that on the campsite. When it's empty, you push it back in and you're good to go again. The motorhome is equipped with two 6kg gas bottles, and this is the gas locker right here. Something to note, it can be a little bit tight with the motorhome being pretty new, so all you have to do is apply a little bit of pressure before turning the key, and then the door will open. You'll see at the moment that the hose is connected to a gas bottle. If you run out of gas, what you need to do is make sure that you twist this valve until it's closed. You then use the spanner to untighten the thread. Now the thread is an opposite thread to what you think, so it's left to tighten, right to untighten. You take the hose off, put it on the fresh gas bottle, tighten as much as you can, and then open the valve, and that will feed the gas straight back into the motorhome. All you do, close the door back over again, apply a little bit of pressure, and you're locked. Something to point out with Gladys's handbrake is it always stays in the horizontal position. To depress the handbrake, you take the strain, you push the button, and you push it down like so. To apply the handbrake, you simply pull it all the way up, but as I said, it always falls back down to the horizontal position. So as you can see, Gladys is equipped with a wind-out awning, which is really handy. The tool is situated in the garage, which you need to wind the awning out. It goes in the top here, and as soon as the awning is wound all the way out, you need to get the legs out from the edge of the awning and put them down to the ground here, making sure that these are tight as possible. Something to note is, like today, it can be a bit windy, so when you leave the motorhome for an hour or two, make sure that you put the awning all the way back so it can't be damaged. Okay, in Gladys there are 4 separate sleeping areas. The first one is above the cab. It's a very, very large double, accessed via this ladder. The ladder can be stowed above the cab securely when driving. The second sleeping area is converted from the double dinette. The third area is converted from the single dinette, and the fourth area is 2 good size bunk beds there as well. So now I'm going to show you how the double dinette and the single dinette converts into a bed. The table doubles as a bed base, and there's a button here that you press to fold the leg in like so. Be careful when you're removing the table, and then once you lower it down, there's a couple of ledges that this will sit onto. So as you can see now, the table is in the lower position, that forms the bed base, and the cushions simply pull forward from the rear facing seat. They push into place like that, and this little infill piece stops the cushions from moving about. The same principle applies on the single dinette as well. Gladys is equipped with a very handy 3-way fridge. It's automatic, so ultimately you don't have to do anything. We'll have it set to automatic when you arrive. It'll be running off gas. When you turn the engine off and drive away, it will automatically flick over to engine battery. When you get to your campsite or your destination, you hook it up and it will be powered via electric hookup. The only thing you might have to do is to adjust the temperature. We'll have it set what we think is probably the best for you, which is 3 bars here. You might have to change it though. Press and hold it, press twice, and then use these arrows to adjust the temperature to suit. When you're happy, press enter, and you're done. It's back to automatic again. It's a really good size fridge. It's a very good size freezer compartment as well, as you can see, so you can put your ice or your ice creams in there. And another thing which is really quite handy about this motorhome is it has got a separate bottle drawer for putting any beverages or any alcohol in there as well. Within the kitchen area, Gladys is equipped with a 3-ring gas hob. To ignite the burners, you press to release the gas and turn. Press the red ignition switch and the burner will light. Be careful that before you lower the glass, it is cool. and over the other side is where you'll find the oven. It's a combination oven and grill, and in much the same way again as well, you push to release the gas and press the ignition switch. Gladys is equipped with fly screens and blinds on every window. They are spring loaded, so be careful when you're using them. They just go up like so. The windows also open. You need to push these little buttons before lifting the catches up. But something just to note, when you open the windows, when you hear the click, the window will be open and it will stay open, but don't pull it back and force it because it can break the stays. All you need to do is very gently push the window up and release it back down, and obviously close the latches over. Always remember to close all windows and any skylights before driving away. The skylights in the motorhome also have fly screens and blackout blinds as well, and they open fully too. To open the skylight, you have to pull down on this bar here and open like so. It will lock at various points along the way. To close it, you pull down again, you push down, but just make sure it is locked before you drive away. There are several standard plug sockets found in the motorhome. There's one down the bottom in the middle of the motorhome there. There's one above the cooker, and there's also one in the kitchen area as well. Just to note that the standard plug sockets will only work if you're hooked up to an electric supply. If you're wild camping, for example, and you need to charge something via USB, the USB ports are located at the front of the motorhome by the dashboard, and also down here as well. So anyone travelling in the passenger seats can charge their devices while on the move. Gladys is equipped with a captain's chair up at the front. It's on the passenger side. To manipulate the seat, you need to pull the bar at the front, start your turn. You may need to manipulate the seat forward and backwards if it's snagging at any point along the way, but it brings you around like so and gives you an extra seat. Before you drive off again, make sure that the seat comes all the way back around and that there's a firm click, just for safety. Gladys doesn't come with any fitted cab blinds. However, we do supply the silver screens to fit to the windscreen and the side windows. You'll find that underneath the bottom bunk in the garage area. All of the overhead lockers are soft close, but they're also spring loaded. To open the locker, you'll feel underneath here, you'll pull the button in, open like so, but just remember when they close back over again, you push the button in and push it firmly closed. This will ensure that nothing will fly out of the lockers onto people as you're driving. All of the kitchen drawers and cupboards lock for safety for when you're driving. You'll see that they won't open at the moment. To open them, you need to push that button out. They will then slide freely open like so. You push it back in to lock. Same applies for the cupboards. They will open freely when the button is out and will lock like so. Same applies to the main cupboard here, which is the wardrobe with all the hanging space. But again, just make sure for safety they're all locked before you drive away. To operate the lights in Gladys, these three lights need to be lit. When you come into the motorhome, you can turn them off individually here, but at various points around the motorhome you'll see a little blue light as well. They are touch sensitive, like this one here. So to turn on, you just tap. To turn off, you tap again. And at the top, the main lights, in the same way, they operate like so. So as I said to you earlier on outside, for any reason, if the cassette toilet outside cannot be removed, it's because the trap door has been left open. Now, before you go to the toilet, what you would do is you would open the trap door. After you've been to the toilet, you flush the toilet, you close it back over again, and you're good to go for the next time. When it's time to empty the cassette toilet, not only will you see when it's full through the bowl, there's a little light which will go from green to red. So that's when it's time to empty the cassette outside. The blue toilet chemical is situated in here along with some spare toilet roll. As you can see, Gladys is equipped with a very handy walk-in shower. It has a standard shower head, a hot and cold mixer tap. The light is situated underneath the glass cupboard here and above the toilet. And always make sure that the shower screen has been clipped back into place before driving off for safety. To use the television in Gladys, you will need to tune it in every time, and that includes if you move off a site and travel to another site, it will need tuning in every time. All you would do is you press the menu button, you press down one to auto tune, pressing OK, down one to UK, press it again, and you'll see it will perform a search. After about 5 minutes, you'll get to 100%, you'll see all your channels down here, you press OK again, and then the channels will be set for you. As you can see, Gladys is equipped with a reverse camera, which is very, very handy. Just be aware, it's always good practice to have someone guiding you back if you're doing any form of reversing, just to be on the safe side. The cab controls in Gladys are fairly straightforward. They're much like most cars. You'll see the multifunction steering wheel on the left hand side has features such as cruise control and speed limiter, volume and mute controls, a few more audio controls here, and because it has Bluetooth you can answer and end a call with these buttons here. Indicators are situated on your left, wipers on your right hand side, lights and electric mirrors are here, the ventilation controls are there. You have a USB charging port and a 12 volt as well, and the radio is a DAB radio unit, and it also, like I say, has the Bluetooth, so you can pair in a phone so you can answer a call legally while you're on the move. So this is the main control panel in Gladys. This is the main on-off switch, so obviously turn on when you come in and turn off when you leave. These are the main light switches, as we discussed earlier. This is the water pump, so when you want pressure for the shower or the sinks. This I button here is for information, so the top one tells you the level of the clean water tank. The bottom one tells you the status of the engine battery, and the very bottom one tells you the status of the leisure batteries. When your wastewater needs emptying, this icon up here will be illuminated. This button here is for the exterior awning light. So now I'm going to demonstrate the heating and the hot water system inside the motorhome. It only runs off gas, not electricity. So first of all, this icon will be for your heating system, and this icon is for your hot water system. So first of all, if you want heating, you hover over that icon there and press enter. You then select your desired comfortable temperature, say 22 degrees. You press enter, and then you'll see above this black line here there's a little gas flame and a picture of a gas bottle, and that tells you that the heating is now operative. After a couple of seconds you'll hear the boiler click and it'll ignite, and after a few more seconds you'll hear and feel the air coming out the various different vents around the motorhome. To turn the system off, and make sure you do this before you drive away, you select again and turn it all the way around to off. Press enter, and that turns off the heating system. In much the same way, the hot water needs to either be on eco, hot or boost. In the cooler months, eco is probably not to be used. I would say hot would be fine for the cooler months, but eco for the hotter months. For the shower, you have it on boost, you press enter, and then you'll see it displayed above the black line. I would wait about 25 minutes before having a shower or using the sink for washing up, and then always remember to turn it off once you've finished, like so. The right hand one is for the vent, so you can push the air around the motorhome a little bit more vigorously. Again, just remember to turn it off when you're not using it. So that pretty much summarises how everything works on Gladys inside and out. If you're stuck while you're away, please give us a call on 07421 148 418. And just in summary, before you drop the motorhome back off on your last day, please ensure that the fuel tank is full. Make sure that the clean water tank is full as well. Make sure the cassette toilet is completely empty, and also the grey water waste has been emptied as well. Thanks very much.